Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Good morning. You're live with Gossip with a Quill. I'm Carlyle.
And Erika.
With us in studio today, we have filmmaker, director, and author Gareth Crocker.
Good morning, ladies.
How are you this summer morning?
I'm fantastic. I've just had one of your lovely cappuccinos. I'm feeling good. Thank you.
He's all spiked up, like ready to go. Oh, yeah, I'm very excited that you're in studio with us today. Like I said, I followed you a little bit on Facebook, met you at SAR at 2015. Yeah, we stalk. No, we stalk like that.
Nice.
Especially if the things you cannot do it, you always see what those people do and how they, get it done. So yeah, I checked up on you from time to time to see what you're busy with and so on, and yeah, very interesting. I can't wait to just fire away and ask you questions.
First, let's find out how your trip was to Cannes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was cool. It's actually, it's going to sound like I'm bragging now. It's second trip to Cannes this year. So we got this little film studio. So we attend it's called MIPCOM. It's like a television market thing in Cannes.
Yes.
So it's really where, the world who produces TV shows and films meets with the people who sell TV shows and films and the big networks and so on. So you got it's insane. You walk around this massive venue where they have the Cannes Film Festival, and there's just gigantic stands, Paramount, Universal, Netflix, all these guys. And occasionally there's some celebs that, happen around. So I posted a ridiculous photo on Facebook where I attended Ben Stiller's premiere. It's his directorial debut, new TV series. I think it's called Escapes from Panamora or something. It's kind of a prison show. And I happened to be sitting right in front of him in the premiere, but I was wearing a T-shirt like this, and
He was wearing a suit.
He was wearing a suit, and he was flanked by the president of Showtime, the president of Miramax, whoever it was, looking super. And I was like,
did you feel intimidated?
Not at all. I thought it was
You're
hysterical.
South African. You just go to hello.
Exactly. I had these cheap ass yellow sunglasses in my head that I got free from one of the stands, and I was sitting there like an absolute idiot, and he's right behind me, and I'm having a laugh. But it was cool. I mean, we enjoy getting MIP. We do a lot of business, and it's a different universe, completely different universe. I think Paramount were hosting clients on a cruise liner there.
Oh wow!
So you would if you wanted to have a meeting with Paramount, you wouldn't just go to their stand.
Yes.
You would go to the end of a dock, climb onto a cruise
Obviously,
liner.
you need a appointment.
You do, yeah. You got to set them up before you go.
Can't just wing it.
But then while you're there, I mean, the entrance to just get into that market is 20-30 grand. So once you're there, you do have access to a lot of people. But
Yes.
yeah, appointments are kind of key.
Is it worth it?
It can be. They play in such a different universe. The local film and television industry is so small.
Yes.
And obviously the money that's moved around is just, it's kind of laughable to an extent. So if you want to play in this game, you got to play internationally, which means as a little studio, you've also got to spend internationally. So it gets expensive, but yeah, there can be an upside.
It's the same in our industry.
Yes.
What
we
learned,
focus on overseas.
Yes.
I mean, we focus international. I feel we are that good. I'm sorry. I know
our talent is ridiculous.
Yes. And we can,
Not my
compete
talent,
with them.
I think your talent as well. Hello.
We are on that standard where we can compete with international authors. So why not go for it?
No, absolutely.
It's like I always say, the sky isn't the limit. You can go even higher. But yeah, it's South Africa doesn't always have the means to get you there. So you have to aim higher and have to go wider.
You have to put a lot of investment in,
Yeah, you do.
time-wise, money-wise,
Oh,
if you want to play on that level.
Yeah,
if I have to
absolutely.
tell you what I spend on school fees, school fees when something isn't working, it's a lot.
And actual school fees. 'cause
Yes.
we've all got children.
Actual school
Yeah,
fees.
exactly.
So tell us about your journey. You were an author. Then
Yes.
one of your books were adapted into a movie.
Yeah, so my story was I wrote this first book called Finding Jack, which I was very fortunate, got picked up in the States, did really well.
Because you're that good.
Amazing. Did really well, and got a multiple book deal there with Penguin Random House and a couple other publishers around the world, and wrote a number of books, and that was cool, and that was fun, and I love it, and I hope to get back to it. In fact, I actually have a new book that you ladies are going to publish for me. So I'm still in that world. And that's great, and I plan to come back to it in a big way soon. But for the last couple of years, it's been it's been this TV and film world. So I work with a company, I'm a partner in a company called Motion Story. We're probably the smallest little international TV film studio in the world, based just down the road in Parkwood. And yeah, so we started out producing a superhero TV series. It was called Django.
Yes.
It was amazingly bad.
Really?
No, look, it was for what it was. I think there's.
I don't think it can be
thought
as
it
bad
was
as,
nice.
sorry guys, Australian TV.
Oh well, look, they're actually making strides. Some of this stuff's pretty good. I think the old stuff is
I don't know.
cringeworthy,
I've
but the new
tried.
stuff
I've
isn't
tried the new
bad.
stuff, and I was like, no.
Really, hey?
It's still
Jeez.
that. You
She's
know
tough
what was
crowd,
good was
tough crowd.
Neighbours. Did you ever watch
No.
Oh
Neighbours?
no!
No.
Oh no! Wasn't it with Carly?
I
Carly
love
Minogue?
Kylie.
And Jason Donovan?
Yes.
Maybe I
No.
did see it. But anyway, so we made Django, and while it actually sold around the world, we were very lucky. It's been in numerous territories, and people enjoy it. I had a bunch of Caribbean guys kind of corner me at the market, wanted photographs and all the rest, 'cause they love
Oh,
Django. and
that
it
is
does
so
well.
cool.
Oh, that's
So it's kind of cool.
amazing.
But I mean, largely it was part of our development as a
Yes.
team. You know, directing, producing. There's just so many elements to it. So it was definitely our first real attempt at this market, and you know, we've managed to turn a bit of a profit on it. So it's enabled us to do another project.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I tell you, the next project, we just learned so much, and to be able to apply all those learnings into a new show has made such a
Yes.
difference. So we've just finished with that show now. It's called Shadow, and we think it's going to make quite a splash. I can't say who has bought it, but a massive international player has bought it. It's going to go into 190 countries around the
Oh,
world.
congratulations.
Oh,
Thank you.
man,
And it's
that's what it's all
actually
about,
you can
eh?
watch it without it burning your retinas, which is going to be fun. So we think it's half decent, maybe more than half decent, and it has kind of allowed us to now start work on our third TV series, which we're in pre-production on.
Oh, awesome.
And your budget for everything, so that includes your studio, your cast, it's massive.
Well, budget is like asking your wife or a lady how much she earns
Do
or
you
her
get
wage. You just don't talk
sponsors?
about
I mean,
budget.
when you go into it, do you get sponsors? Can anybody just start up?
Well, yes, it's kind of difficult. I think what makes it easier for a modern day filmmaker is that back in the day you had to get film cameras, and film cameras can cost as much as your average house.
Yes.
So that fortunately has dropped away to a large extent. So today's cameras, you can get a very good 4K, even 8K, 16K cameras that are reasonable, and I mean the quality is very good. So from a filmmaking perspective, the lights have gotten cheaper, the cameras have gotten cheaper, the editing software is cheaper, and it's all decent stuff. I mean, obviously there's levels, but you can
Yes.
still do decent work on fairly inexpensive stuff. I do say fairly, it's still going to be quite expensive. But largely the biggest cost you have is putting the production together. So that's paying for locations, paying for
Yes.
wardrobe, paying for catering, and then obviously your acting costs can be
Yes.
very expensive. I mean, in our new show, Shadow, we had about 120 actors.
Wow.
You know, they can charge you anywhere from between 2,000-3,000 rand a day to 10,000-12,000 rand a day, and you need them for X number of days. So it
And
gets
if
very
things go
expensive.
bad, it costs you more money.
Exactly,
so,
exactly.
No,
We're-
you can't
and we're
really stick
independent.
to a budget, can you?
No, exactly. And you can have rain days if you're not insured
Oh,
for rain
gosh.
days. You know, so you've got say you've got 20 actors on a set. You've paid for the set, all your crew you've paid for, all the actors are paid for, and it starts raining and you can't film. You've lost like 300K on the day. So, you know, there's insurances for that, but you know.
How
it's
many
just-
writers do you have on a show?
We have many. We have one.
Are you the writer?
I'm the writer.
Oh,
But I collaborate. I must be fair. I collaborate with my partners. You see, I'm the world's greatest writer. They just come and corrupt my magnificent writing. Now my partners all contribute to the story. We kind of thrash it out together. Then I go sit and write it, and then they have their say on things that we can change. Because the big change of being an author to a screenwriter is that you're changing mediums. You're going from a medium of the imagination to
Yes.
one that's visual. So the craft changes a lot. You have to, they say show don't tell, and it's never truer in the TV
And
world, the
yes,
film
yes,
world.
yes.
yes.
So instead of the actor saying, "Well, I'm
So
really
get
sad,"
into that
you know.
habit right now.
Exactly,
Right
yeah.
now,
So the
yes.
actor, in a novel, you could say, he was cut up by his divorce, but in a TV show, you would
You have to show it.
You would show him. So you'd look down at his ring finger, and he'd see like a tan line, and you'd see a little
Yeah.
wince. So you do the same thing, but it's just a completely different way of doing it. So you got to learn that.
And you'll
I've
be
had to learn that.
stinky and not wearing nice clothes and be
Exactly.
a belly and not shaved. Oh, God.
Exactly, yeah. So there's lots of challenges, but it's great fun, and but you do need to answer your question. You do need, if you're independent like we are, we're not attached to any broadcasters,
Yes.
so we just make a show and then we go sell it. You do need someone who can bankroll you. So
Yes,
you need an
yes,
investor
yes.
or a group of investors or a bank that's willing to finance you. But good luck with that,
Yeah, no,
because
I can
film is
imagine that.
risky.
The creative industry in South Africa, they don't really want to.
No, not so
No,
much.
it's
not
too
so much.
risky.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
way too risky. But I mean,
Unless-
the upsides are huge because we can produce for reasonably low cost compared to
Yes.
international
Yeah.
operations. So if theoretically you produce a TV series for say $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, an average TV series in the States, it's produced for like 10 times that.
Yes.
So your cost's a lot lower. So if you can
Yes.
get the license fees, you can kind of make it work, but it's risky, definitely.
Yeah, shame. No, but it's like you said when you said about, you guys you write the story and everybody has its own input. As I've been following John, I think it's John Scry. I hope I pronounce his surname right. He's also an independent freelancer helping others to write screenplays. Because I'm in that stage now. I still write a lot of books, but I dab into screenplays. And look, it's a complete different mindset than writing a book. It's like you have to switch off the author switch in your head, and you have to switch on a screenplay button, because it's like you said, it's completely different. My first one took a long time to write, and but yeah, I'm following John Scry to get back to what you said, and he also said that before every big production they sit around, and it's actually the producer and the director and the writer and who else, and they are
Go back and
pulling
forth.
the story apart to see what's going to work and what's not going to work. And that's why he likes book adaptations so much, because you have a book where you can go to when you can't agree on
Visualize it.
something. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, sure.
He says when you just write a movie or something like that, it says sometimes it stops the production completely because these three people can't, come to agreement of how to do this.
And it's the considerations that are required. So here's the
Yes.
thing. When you write a novel, your only limits are your imagination, right? Because
Yes.
there's no extra cost in writing a plane crash versus writing someone walking down the street.
Okay.
Big difference in
Oh,
production
gosh.
is
Yes.
I have to write with oven mitts on because there's a million things I want to write, but I know that there's a production
And you, as
consideration.
coming
Yes.
with such a successful author, and all you're thinking about, I can't do this. I
Can't write
do
that. Can't write that.
I
Can't afford
think
that. Can't
that
afford
is
that.
quite good exercise for
It
your
is.
mind.
It is. It's also
It's hard and frustrating because
Super.
damn, this guy would be awesome if he could fly a helicopter into that tree.
Exactly. But so you go like this. So this is what the process is. The process is, it'd be great if it could be a pilot. Okay, we can't afford a plane. Can't afford an actor who can fly a plane. Can't afford flying lessons. Can't
We'll
afford
make
any of
a
that.
big
yeah.
kite.
Yeah, so now, exactly. He's going to fly a kite
What
in a
about
park.
the little helicopter? Then you just crash it and you special effects.
Yeah,
But I know in the
yeah.
future, I mean, I like to watch, like I said to you, I wanted to be director one day. So I like to watch the behind the scenes of big movies. And
Yes.
nowadays, they just have green screen for everything.
Yes,
They don't
yes.
even wear costumes anymore. You're like, wow, that sucks. I don't want to be an actor anymore.
No, it's crazy.
Where are
But-
the days I could actually ride a horse?
No, you're right. And if you look at, I'm actually just listening to Peter Jackson's kind of biography and the trip to the Lord of the Rings and how Weta Digital, which is their kind of technology company
Yes.
that developed all the technology around motion capture, the Smeagol character and so on. You just realize how ingrained it is in the modern blockbuster, but the money involved to create those special effects
Yes, I
is
can imagine. It's the same.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
It is-
I would
mean,
say it's the same at the moment.
yeah, it's just So what if you're an aspirant filmmaker and you want
Yes.
to get into this world? What you need to do is come up with a smart story that's compelling, because we humans still react to things that are compelling,
Yes.
right? But write it in a small way. So I wrote and co-directed an independent horror film, which is such fun. It was really about two people trapped in a basement, and it was actually pretty watchable because the story was compelling. They wake up there, they don't know why they're there, they get gassed and they pass out, and every time they pass out there's a new item in the room. So you're building this intrigue, but they've obviously been put
That's
there for a
quite
reason.
clever.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So and that was very inexpensive to
So
make
it's a
and film.
psychological
Yeah, but
thriller.
what was so clever is one location, two actors, and a cool
Yes.
story. And you keep introducing these new elements, and the audience the whole time is thinking, "What's kind of going on here?" Now you can film that for almost nothing. I think we did. I think I probably put 10 grand into the film,
Oh, wow.
and we managed, and we made like.
What
a
was the
proper-
title?
It was called Taken. It starred Liam Neeson.
Taken.
Didn't star Liam Neeson. I'm kidding, but it was
I
the
just want to say what?
it was
I will
the
come
film
for
before
you.
he stole our name and made his film. But I must say, it was a joke.
Damn you, Liam.
We made it for nothing. We sold it to, I don't know why, we were so young and naive. We just sold it to one broadcaster and then walked away. We should have sold it to multiple
So,
broadcasters.
do your distribution for selling your films?
Who does it? Who
Yes.
does it?
Do
Yeah.
you guys do it personally, or do you, like the book industry, have to have certain people going around and...
Yeah, well, you kind of have to. So,
Because we're still very conservative, right?
yeah, well, here's the thing. I mean, you're playing in a global market. So to just go back to the MIPCOM festival in Cannes. So how it works is you've got the people who make TV shows and films.
Yes.
You've got the people who finance those entities. Then you've got the people who distribute. And then you've got the big studios.
Can you be a one-man band?
Well, we've tried, and you sort of can. If you
Okay.
very can, see the pun there? Can, you can, and can.
can.
Yeah, can and can.
You can and
You can and
cans.
can. But you have to be quite lucky, and what you then need to do is go to like a massive player who's happy to deal just with you. But if you want to sell your show into multiple territories, you need to go through a distributor. So with Django, we had a Dutch distributor, and they did a very cool job in placing the show around the world. But for this one, what we wanted to do with Shadow, we wanted to approach a single massive player and see if they would take all world rights. So we don't kind of need a distributor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And bear in mind, your distributor takes 30%. So you would immediately lose out on quite a lot of
That's a
your
lot.
money. Yeah, yeah.
It's like
So, yeah.
Amazon. I mean, everybody takes a piece of the pie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
course,
you
it's
got your
all-
editor, your
Yeah.
cover, your, like you
Yeah.
said, there's so much.
Yeah.
exactly. There's so much that goes into it, yeah.
So at the end of the day, you have to produce like 10 times more to just
Yeah.
get what you wanted in the first
Correct.
place.
But if you can produce
on
your
a
own
roll.
show, yeah, if you can produce your own show, sell it to one player, no middleman,
Yes.
then obviously it's a lot better, you know.
Yes.
So that's kind of the space we're in now. But it's volatile. I mean, we could be very successful and we could fail dismally, and
Yes.
we don't know
I
where we're
don't
gonna
like
land.
where I'm sitting.
Okay,
What's
we
wrong?
I can't see your
move
face.
it.
Oh no, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah. I'm like Vanilla Ice was in a bad car accident. I've been called that.
I have
before.
to like dodge like that.
Shame. Okay, but for the listeners out there, readers, I'm so used to saying readers. For the listeners out there, we are talking about scripts, and how can you, if you want to become a scriptwriter, screenwriter, go into the movie industry, how can you do this independently? I've spoken a little bit earlier before the show to Gareth about Stage 32. For you guys that don't know, there is a platform on the internet that does cater for screenwriters. It's like, the best I can explain it, it's like an Idols for screenwriters. There's always competitions that take on the best screenplays. Big producers, they get in from time to time, which you can pitch. So it's like a contact list, all in one place, because I know it's very hard to make contacts, and they does some my English, I can't come up with the words today. They do like not tutorials, courses.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
to, and these screenplayers are, I mean, they're huge. They've written books like 50
Shades of grey.
Shades of Grey, and what's that, 50 First Dates? And,
Oh, yes.
it's they worked on these movies, so you really want someone legit.
Yeah.
I mean, I always, when I say I wanted to do a course, I don't want to do a course through someone that doesn't sell books.
Sure.
I want to go for the James Patterson. I
Sure,
mean, he does
sure.
a course. And I took the course, and to be honest with you, the course was brilliant. And it's the same with, I think, screenplay. I mean, you want to learn how to write a screenplay properly from someone that has written like
Doesn't Spielberg have a book out, Blockbusters? How
20,000
to create
screenplays.
blockbusters?
Yeah, but you
And
know
it's
what?
free. You can download the PDF. It's quite good.
Is it?
Yes.
I haven't read it yet. I usually take just online courses from these producers and screenwriters, and how to execute it properly, because like I said, it's so different than writing a book.
Sure.
It's like you say as well, it has to be visual. And the one thing that I've learned with screenwriting is about emotions and people. Where writing a book is you basically
The whole world.
you have to describe everything, and it's not always got to do with the people. That was very interesting, to learn that, because I didn't thought it was like that at all. But like I said, you need different caps for these things. So yeah, if there's any aspiring screenplayers out there, we aren't all as fortunate as Gareth that we just can grab everything and say we're going to do it ourselves. So there is a place where you can go and, you know, start your networking, talk to other screenwriters.
It's the same as when you get into the book world. Same thing. Start
Yes.
networking, making your connections, and always have that dream
Yes.
in your head where you're going towards and move towards it. Everything you do, just move towards that.
I think what's nice is, I mean, I hear you, absolutely right. I mean, you should learn as much as you can, because obviously it can spare you from making so many mistakes. But by the same token, technology-wise, there's literally nothing to stop you from making a film, short film with your mates on your phone.
Yes.
Learn some lessons, get into the craft.
Phones, they're amazing these days.
No, it's incredible. I mean, with the camera we shot our first independent horror film on, my current broken phone that's been kicked to death in my bag, it's soccer. It's a S9 Samsung, whatever. But I can tell you that the quality is far superior to what we shot that film on. So there's really no excuse at the moment. And frankly,
The pixels are high.
pixels are high, yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, yeah, absolutely. But more
And
than
the
that,
audio,
no, I mean, look, the audio won't be great, but that's almost not the point. The point is, you can be book smart, but you also need to be practically experienced. You need to have tried some stuff. There's nothing better than actually getting a producer's attention by showing them a short sample of what you're actually able to do.
Yes.
Think back to what Neil Blomkamp did
Yes.
with District 9. He put that whole short together. Okay, that was on a ridiculously another level because it was sensational. But having said that, you can... If you can prove to, you know, potential investor, potential producer, what you're able to bring to life in a very
with
low
limited
budget,
resources, yes.
that's almost more impressive than going to them with some sort of presentation. So I would, and it's hell of a fun as well.
It's
That's
like
the thing.
going to
More fun.
Idols. They want to hear your the
Exactly.
rawness.
You can't tell them how well you sing. They want to hear
Yes.
you sing. You know?
Yes, yes, yes.
So I think there's a bit of that as well. So if I was an aspirant filmmaker out there, and it's the path we've followed. We read and watch as much as we possibly can. We've also done the master
Do you do
classes with all
behind the
these guys.
scenes?
Yeah, for sure. But then we also go and make stuff, whether
Yes.
it's bad or
You
not.
need the
You need to make it.
experience.
Yeah, and you got to try and and the best way of learning is on the job, you know. And you learn what's
Yes.
practical. You learn the pitfalls very quickly.
How long did it take you to produce and put together the whole of Django?
Django must have taken about over 2 years, long time.
2
Because I mean, the
years.
casting process alone, you got to try to find the right people. Writing wise, you've got to write
You
it,
have
and then
to
you
have
have to
good
adapt.
actors.
You have to, it's so critical, and so it's difficult in South Africa because while there's actually quite a strong African kind of population to choose actors from, and Afrikaans, English not so much. Most of them are locked up in the theatre
Because
world.
you're selling to international people too,
Exactly,
as well
yeah.
as
Yeah.
nationally.
Well, that's the critical thing. You can't make a show that is so localized.
so much to think about.
There's so much to think about. You can't make it so localized that it can't travel. So our challenge with all our shows is to give it an African base,
Yes.
but to make the issues international and some of the cast international so that it can move across. So in our brand new one that we're starting pre-production on, we're hoping to bring quite a big British actor across, and he's going to be
Is
in
it
our
Liam?
show. It's not Liam. It rhymes with Idris Elba.
You know he has a South African agent, hey?
Who's that?
Idris Elba.
Does he really?
Yes, yes.
Get
yes.
out of here.
I'm serious.
So
yes,
Charlize and I just mentioned our car. Charlize, and Idris.
Yeah, he actually has a South African agent. You know, I looked when he played Mandela. It's like his agent actually phoned him from South Africa, and he said to him, it's like time difference and everything. And he said to him he can cast him as Nelson Mandela, and he actually put the phone down in his ear. It's
Really?
like thinking it's a prank.
Jeez.
So,
Gee, that's crazy.
So,
I must
yeah,
talk to him
it's-
about that when I see him on set.
Yeah, phone us. We'll be there. We'll be your backup.
I hope he's the next James Bond, actually. That'd be cool.
no, but it's quite interesting if you see, you know, there is actually a lot of South Africans doing really well.
Yeah,
And that-
absolutely.
There's
We
a guy that
don't
was
know
in Tomb
about
Raider.
it.
Sam and I were talking about it last year.
Yeah.
He's from Joburg.
Kenneth.
There's
Yes.
Kenneth was in my
yes.
class at school.
Oh,
we
my
were,
God,
we
he
were
was
mates.
so
Yeah,
cool.
Kenneth was
But
cool.
but the
man,
guy from I'm watching. Sorry, I'm very behind when it comes to blockbusters. I've watched. the
She
Black
writes.
Plan-
She doesn't live.
You
the
watched
Black
Die Hard, did
Panther,
you?
No, the Black Panther last night. On box office. I think it's
Wakanda
on catch up.
Yeah.
No, and I think there's also a guy from South Africa.
There's a
in
couple.
there.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yes.
There's a couple
Because
of
he
it.
speaks like the white dude. I mean, he is that's
Yes.
Afrikaans. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
he
that's
was.
Afrikaans.
No, there's a number of
yes.
cast members, yeah.
So it's
Cole was his name.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
I've
Claw,
seen him in
something
a
like
few
that.
South African
Um,
things.
Yeah.
He's actually quite good.
Yeah, so it's and the kissing booth. I mean, there's so many South
I
Africans.
didn't
in there.
watch the Kissing
You must
Booth.
watch it. I know. It's like your girls will love it.
Okay.
It's like very.
They're too young for that.
chic. No,
Thank you.
man,
They're always too young.
not.
They will be old enough when they are 35.
Well,
You are
we'll
seriously
negotiate it
horrible
then.
woman. No, it's
When
it's
they have
like,
Lobola, then
it's
we'll
like
think
seriously
about it.
such a cute. I think I watched that movie like 4 times. It's so sweet, you know. It's like first love, and you know that forbidden type of love, and but it's really really cute. And there is like
A lot of South
a
African
lot of South
actors.
African
Yeah,
authors, but
yeah.
it's because they filmed it in South Africa. And that's another thing that I wanted to talk about is so many films are getting made now in South Africa.
Yeah,
Is it
for
because
sure.
it's cost?
Like Avengers was shot here.
Yeah, very much. No, I mean, the amount of productions that are going through Cape Town at the moment is insane.
Yes.
And,
Was
I mean,
Django shot in Cape Town?
No, it wasn't. No, it was shot in Joburg. We want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you've got all the episodes up on your website, right? I see. Or
no,
some
no,
of
we
them.
don't, no,
Are those like
no.
little...
Yeah,
little
those are just kind of
snippets?
snippets and so on. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. No, people
So
are paid for
where,
that, man.
when
Nothing is for
and
free.
where could people watch Django?
Django at the moment, I think some of the license deals have expired. So it was on ETV, then it was on BET in South Africa, it was on a Nigerian
see.
channel. Currently, I think it's on Amazon worldwide.
Okay.
And there's
Oh,
probably
wow.
a couple other platforms. I'm not really up to date on our
And
distribution
when
list.
you sell a series like that, how many episodes were there in there?
Well, it's funny. There were 8 originally, 8 like
Yes.
broadcast hour.
Yes.
And then one of our broadcasters said, "Hey, man, we'd prefer half hour. Wouldn't you mind just cutting them in half?" And we're like, that's not how it works. There's an arc in a story. You can't just cut it in half.
You can't
Yes.
just
Yeah,
cut
you
it.
can't just cut in half. I mean, it just doesn't work. You
How
have
about
to
I cut your
re-edit
face
and-
in half?
exactly. But you know what we did? We cut it in half. So
Okay.
there's a version with
So
16
how is
episodes.
that for a cliffhanger
Oh,
for
it's
you?
it's surreal.
And then he walks into the room and... Okay.
Mid conversation.
We have the flashing.
Flashing.
Going to
Okay,
add-
ad break.
Bye.
Ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.beastownmedia.co.za.
This is what you missed on brandlive.co.za.
We're broadcasting live in one of the boxes at 27 boxes.
Can I ask you something then? Can you please tell me, like, do you think like the post 90s, ne? Like, did they really fully integrate, you know?
Sure.
Since we're talking about integrating today, though.
But you do what? Civil engineering?
Civil engineering, yeah.
Okay, and how's that going for you?
It's okay.
So
It's
a whole
fine.
lot of studying?
School. It's a lot of studying.
And
I
banking
guess.
school, a lot of banking school.
I don't bunk school. Like, I just don't go to school when they tell us not to go.
Lies,
I mean,
Bona. I've seen this with my eyes. Lies.
Someone was saying, I'm sure there's 10 soapies now happening
Listen.
same time.
I'm gonna say something, right? That might
Say it.
that might sound like I'm shading or hating
Yeah.
or whatever. There's lots of work for actors right now, but lots of actors aren't working. Lots of people are acting.
Ooh. Insightful conversation.
Making a bold statement yet blending into the surrounding suburbs of Melville, 27 Boxes is a realization of edgy design and practical implementation. A radical departure from the shopping malls of our generation, yet not a return to the high streets of our youth. 27 Boxes showcases the best of a shopping centre set in a garden, surrounded by the bohemian suburb that is Melville. 27 Boxes, shop, play, eat.
Hey Benang, how are you?
Hi Tuli, you look so beautiful. Hey, long time no see. What happened to your skin, by the way? The last time I saw you, you had a lot of blemishes and breakouts. It was so terrible, man.
Wow, thanks for that, Benang. Luckily I discovered DMK. Have you heard of DMK?
DMK? Who are they?
DMK is a paramedical skincare brand that specializes in all skin conditions. Would you like their number?
Yes, please.
I know you're not good at numbers, so let me give you their website address because your skin looks terrible. It's www.dmkskincare.co.za.
Live from 27 Boxes in the heart of Melville, this is brandlive.co.za.
And we are back. You are listening with Gossip with the Quill. Today with us in studio is Gareth Crocker. He is a really talented screenwriter,
Yes.
Filmmaker,
author,
and a dad.
Dad. Super dad.
Yeah.
It's like he can do everything.
Please, I just lurched from one disaster to the next. Try to smile.
But that's how you learn. It's you know what? It's
Fall through life.
Yeah, sometimes I miss the mistakes, you know. I really do.
Are you saying you're perfect?
No, I'm not saying I'm
joking.
perfect, but the mistakes
Sounds like it.
don't come as they used to. I mean, yeah, I learn a lot from them. I'm telling you, it's so yeah. It's I always say mistakes you grow. You learn from what not to do. No, that's what I said to you in the beginning. My school fees were extremely high because I learned like fast, and it's like you climb out of the one hole and you
jump into the next
one or fall into the next one, and then you learn your lesson there. There's so many things to learn.
No, for sure.
And there's so many ways to mess up.
Yeah, I think this industry is so humbling. I think it's great.
It is. And that is what keeps us humble. I mean, you know what? Because you always learn. Every single day, and that's what I love about this industry is there's always
creatives.
something happening, something new, especially in the marketing world. Oh my word, it's what happens.
Do you have a marketing team, or do you do it all yourself?
In terms of the show, no, not at the moment. But that will soon be taken over by a major channel. So
oh,
they'll
that's
have
so
a whole,
awesome.
Well, you're not going to tell us.
No, it's not allowed.
I'm not allowed to.
Damn
So I know
you.
you guys always have these clauses where you're not allowed to. I know Jo Watson also. So I also check up in from time to time. She also has this big thing going on, and I can't wait for her to just tell us what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
But she can't because she's.
There's people in Hollywood who arrive with sniper rifles, so you actually can't.
So
It's
tell
like,
us, where are you heading? Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Just general greatness, really. No.
Do you want to be a big filmmaker in Hollywood? Do you want to be that guy that they phone and they say, "Yo, we've got the next Avengers movie coming up"?
No, I can tell you that for sure. I actually can't stand superhero films. I'll tell you why.
But you got Django.
No, but I mean like the big marquee stuff. Yeah, the big marquee stuff like Avengers. I've got this record of falling asleep in every one of them just because.
Didn't you watch the last Thor?
I
was
did,
so
and then I woke
funny.
up and then everyone's dying. I'm like, what's going on? Sorry, spoiler alert there.
He
everyone's
was
dying.
funny. No,
that
Thor,
was
Infinity, Ragnarok. Yeah, that was funny.
But still, I just think that they rely so much on the CG and so much on the fight sequences that I actually tune out of it because there's not a lot of emotional,
talent.
But there's not a lot of emotional things happening. It's like
Okay.
I'm
Fight,
smashing you to death. That's great if you're 12.
Hulk smash.
Yeah, Hulk smash is fun. That's fun. But apart from that, kind of gets.
I hear you. You
love
want
Hulk.
something deeper.
Yeah, I want to feel something. I feel that if you write novels and you want to make decent film,
you need to be moved
you need to be
by
moved.
the story
Yeah, exactly.
and inspired.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
So
just
that's
want
the
to
space we wanna
smash
play.
everything around you.
Correct, yeah.
With your hammer.
So with our new show, Shadow, which is coming out on an undisclosed platform,
Yes.
that show is actually strangely, it's like similar to the Punisher, I guess, type of show. It's about an ex-cop who helps people and Hulk smashes them quite often. But even within that arena of him Hulk smashing people, it's pretty emotional. And I mean, a couple of times in the editing studio, I had to act like something flew into my eye. I was like, oh, jeez. Something just came
cool.
out. So we've got a really talented cast. We've got Palin Stladler, who's like how can I describe him? He's like a young Denzel. He's really, really cool. We've got Amanda DuPont, who's massive. She's got like 13 quadrillion followers on Instagram, super popular girl. And Carter Romablani, lovely actor to me. We've got so many good actors in this show, and it's super emotional. So we're kind of pretty proud of it, and we're hoping that the new show we can play into those similar themes. So yeah, it's
that is awesome.
For someone that's starting out, their first tip that you would say to them, networking.
First tip is get off your butt and go and make something and try something.
So
read
make
everything
an
you
effort.
can. Make an effort. Go and see what you can actually do and work with friends. Don't be shy to ask for favors and just try start the process. Get a foot on the ladder and then just start climbing.
You obviously need to
every
write
way
the
you can.
story.
Write the story. Yeah,
Don't just go out and shoot it and be like.
You got to do everything. You got to write it. You got to produce it. You got to do the casting. You got to do the catering. I mean,
It's like,
it
let's
amounts
wing
to
this
nothing,
one
really.
without an
Hard work
orchestra.
pays
Yeah,
off,
Yeah,
and
for sure, for
talent
sure.
is a big part of it. But we've
it's
said this
definitely.
many times on the show. What you put in is what you're going to get out.
No, for sure. But I think the key thing is also if you go on that journey, you get so humbled along the way. It just puts your ego in check. I mean,
Because people are actually amazing out there.
No, they are. And there's some really talented people. But to give an idea, even in the author world, I mean, I had reviews in like the Washington Post and the New York Times and all that sort of stuff and heady stuff, and I'd go speak at international conferences and there'd be a room full of people. But there have also been to events where there's one person in the audience and you feel like the world's greatest cactus. Like Like, so do you really
We've
do
been
you want me
there.
to talk
I
like
haven't
from the
even
stage, or
been
can I
there
take you
yet.
for a beer at the pub and we can just chat? And he's like, no, stay there and talk. So you stand in an empty room
Or
talking
you
to
go
one person.
and there's only authors and there's no
only
like
authors, you know,
someone to say,
exactly.
I'll swap you.
Exactly. I
I don't know when I'm going to read your book, but
I was at the Franschhoek Literary Festival many years ago, early on in my
Yes.
career, and I was in a room that was reasonably full. And across the way was Alexander McCall in a different venue, and he was talking at the same time that I was on stage.
Oh.
I'm thinking
you
all these
just hate
people in the
that?
room. Yeah, so listen to this story. So I'm sitting there looking at all the people, and I'm on a stage with some fellow authors. It might have been Lauren Bierkes or Sarah. Anyway, and we kind of fairly young in our careers, and we're sitting there, and we're trying to work out who's in the actual audience. Are these paying members, the reading public who've come to see us? Then I noticed the author next to me kind of waves to her publishing team and her family, and like
Yes.
half the room waves back. Then the other author does the same. Then I do the same because I can see my
We've been
publicist
there.
and my. So it's all just book people.
Family, yeah.
It's just like, oh man, this is a joke.
Ba,
So
ba,
you go
ba,
through
ba,
that. You go through that, but then you go to events where you got to queue outside the door and so on.
Yes.
So, but I think that journey is so important in grounding you and making sure that your ego doesn't get out
and
of
you
check.
stay grounded.
And stay grounded. Yeah, I mean, at the
Because
moment
nobody
we
is
are
more
super.
important than the next.
We're super humble, firstly, and the second thing is you're very aware that your latest success is only as good as that. The next thing is a failure. You're probably out of the industry.
Yes, just
so
like
you
that.
You got to be so.
Be
Yeah.
careful who you speak about and who to, and
Yeah.
who you
Yes.
act horribly
Exactly.
towards
Exactly.
in
Yeah.
life generally.
Yeah, generally. No, that's a great rule of thumb. Yeah.
I've learned recently that just about everyone that even the roads that I've traveled lately, they led up to this moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Every moment that something great comes along, I say, wow, I couldn't have done it without that, without my
Exactly.
street team, with this, without that, without that.
That's it,
Even
yeah.
with the person that I met like in high school and met up, like, wow, she actually just introduced me to a whole bunch of new readers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yes.
think one door definitely does, sounds like a cliche, but one door definitely does open up another. And that's the thing,
Yes.
you've also got to get yourself out there. Don't be shy.
Yes, that's
Speak to
also
people,
what I wanted to
attend
say.
things. Yeah, just get
Yes.
out there. Don't be
It's
don't be
every
afraid.
single day. Just do something little, even if it's just an hour, but try something, because you never know where
Move
the
towards your
sales come
goal
from.
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know who sees it. You never know. It's like this industry is also about a lot of luck.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's so many authors out there that their fans are saying, "Oh, I can't wait for your book to be in the movie." So if only they know how hard that is.
Jeez, yeah, yeah.
You know. So yeah, I got a few.
So
of
we'll
those.
just be our own filmmakers, make our own book into a movie.
Quill production.
Well, you guys are going to suck because your sci-fi stuff's so expensive to make. You can forget that.
I'll just use CGI.
yeah. Very expensive.
I'll use Jamal. Jamal can draw all the dragons and make it fly. No, but it's like yeah. Now I forgot the point completely. What I wanted to say.
Well, I want to say something. For all those aspirant filmmakers
Yes.
or novelists, guys want to write books, and they always say, "Oh, one day I'm going to write a book." Yeah. And boy, I don't have time. I've got kids and I've got a job and so on. And that's absolute nonsense. And I was working on all sorts of different stuff when I wrote like 6 books.
You're just procrastinating. You're scared of something.
Yeah, you just got
Just
to make
move
the
on.
time. And the best time for me to write, I actually function well at night, a bit of a night owl. So I used to kiss my wife and kids, good night, go to bed, and off they go. And then,
And
10
then their
o'clock,
face, oh.
no, they don't care because they're going to go to sleep. At
Oh,
10
my husband
o'clock
hates
at
it.
night.
Where are you going? I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm going to go work.
Exactly. And that's what you do. At 10 o'clock at night, you're exhausted, but you
Yes.
work. If you want to do it, you got to put in the hard yards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have about 3 minutes left. Hey.
Should we-
Yes.
What
And
did you
then-
learn from your recent trip about your industry that you
That-
are going to imply?
Okay, what have I learned from a recent trip? I learned that Europe's very expensive. A
Gosh.
beer in can now costs you 500 rand. So drink it slowly.
Oh,
I've
but
learned
it's
that.
worth it. Drinking in can.
Drinking in can. So cool. No, I think what I've learned is that South Africans almost have an inferiority complex when you're out there, and we're
Just go
meeting
for it.
we're meeting with some massive Hollywood studios at the moment, and they're keen to listen to what we have to say, and we don't feel like we have to go in there cap in hand apologizing for who
Where
we
do
are.
you market yourself and your...
Well, I think the work starts to speak a little bit for itself. So we put a trailer together for the new show, and we sent that to some of the big networks, and that makes an impact, And then they
Yes.
start thinking, well, how much did this cost them to produce?
So it's like us reaching an agent. You just give them a sample and you
Exactly.
email it to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Dropbox
Well,
it, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But
Okay.
getting the emails is tough because you don't just get the acquisitions manager for Fox.
Yes.
You know,
Do you go on what is that film IBM? What is it?
The database that rates all the films and so on. Yeah, you can get some information.
Can you get a subscription there?
You can, yeah, absolutely. But if you attend the MIPCOM markets, they give you a database with all the connections. So that's the main reason why we do it.
That's why you pay to fly over and drink 500 rand beer.
So it's like networking.
Very slowly. Yeah,
it's like networking.
No, absolutely. But ultimately, your work is gonna. Because here's the thing: often you just send them the link, and it doesn't matter if you're George Lucas or Gareth Crocker or anyone else. They're going to watch that, and it's got to stand on its own 2 feet. You can't have commentary running and saying, "Well, in this trailer, the reason why we only blew up a small car, not 15 cars, because we don't have the money." So it's got to stand on its own 2 feet and be compelling. And if you can get to that level, there's no reason why South Africans can't.
And always just keep trying.
Just keep going, people.
Yeah. I'm sure that a lot of your stuff have been
just keep
not even looked at in the beginning.
No, absolutely. And I'll tell you the other thing is get thick skin. I can tell you the new show, as
no
proud
more
as we
coffee for
are,
her.
no more coffee for her. As proud as we are of the new show, it's going to get slated by all the trolls. We don't care.
I think every time you bring out a new book or a new story, you think, ugh.
Yeah. Everyone gets.
You have
hammered.
doubts always.
Yeah, but I don't care anymore. Twitter can say whatever it likes. I'm going to keep going.
I'm also like that. I don't care. I don't care what anyone thinks of me anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that is a wrap. We have used all our time.
I'm getting paid.
Today.
You guys going to pay me?
Yes, in cappuccinos.
Oh, okay.
Cool. How many cappuccinos can you consume in an hour?
One, I'm old. I have to go to the bathroom a lot.
So, yes.
Don't you hate that? I thought it was just women problems.
Oh, hell no.
My husband's always like, why are you going to the toilet? I said, I had coffee this morning.
Okay, so we really need to
shut it down.
Now.
Shut it down.
Just wanted to say thank you, Gareth, for coming in and speaking to us about, the screenwriting world and the filmmaking world and everything. And look, I'm not even going to wish you luck. You are just going to make it. It's all
we'll
about
be stalking.
Going for
Please
it. Yeah, I'll carry on
stalking. You guys as well. I know about USA bestseller. Yeah.
Yes, and we'll see you again next week. Same time, same place. Thank you
Cheers
for
from Joburg.
listening.
Bye.
Bye.
To fire. What is it?
Gossip with the Quill. Gosh. We
Thank
need a
you.
porky.
Bye.
Live from 27 boxes in the heart of Melville, this is brandlive.co.za.